Something's brewing behind closed doors, and it could flip the 49ers draft strategy on its head. The clock is ticking, the stakes are sky high, and this move might just redefine the entire defense. You won't believe what's gaining momentum. Why? The 49ers should draft a cornerback with the 11th pick only. 1 week left until the NFL draft commences. The San Francisco 49ers have been mocked to draft several positions. Some of them have been for need, while others have been the best player available. It is usually best to draft the best player available versus need. But sometimes there are scenarios where a team gets both. That scenario should be present for the 49ers when they make their 11th pick. What that scenario looks like is if they take a cornerback. The 49ers should draft a cornerback with the 11th pick. Whether it is Michigan's Will Johnson or Texas's Jahdae Barron, the 49ers can't go wrong with either player. It is logical for the 49ers to forego an offensive tackle and a defensive lineman in favor of a cornerback. Johnson or Barron will be the better players available. Drafting either of them is a better move than going for a future need at offensive tackle. So, the 11th pick should come down to taking a cornerback or a defensive lineman. The reason the 49ers should go cornerback is that there will still be some excellent defensive line prospects on day 2. It won't be as great for a cornerback. The draft board makes taking a cornerback sensible, but most importantly, a cornerback might be what defensive coordinator Robert Saleh. In 2020, he converted the 49ers defense from a chaotic pass rushing unit to a lockdown coverage one. He also drafted Sauce Gardner as the head coach of the Jets. Drafting a cornerback will allow the 49ers to keep Renardo Green in nickel packages. He might be best suited to remain in that capacity. The 49ers will have 3 excellent corners. It will make up for the pass rush not being dominant, since the corners can remain in coverage longer and force difficult throws. It worked in 2020 with lesser overall talent, so it should work in 2025. The 49ers will be committing to increasing their pass coverage and can improve their pass rush later on in the draft. It's probably the best course of action to take instead. The best-case scenario is if Johnson or Barron becomes a shutdown corner. That will make drafting one of them with the 11th pick a home run. I think it's worth rolling the dice to get them in the first round and address the trenches later in full force. Why the 49ers might draft a cornerback. In round 1 technically, cornerback isn't a pressing need for the 49ers. But they could draft one with the 11th pick anyway. Sure, they already have 2 good starters, Deommodore Lenoir and Renardo Green, but neither player hasn't proven to be an elite player yet. And the 49ers will have 3 cornerbacks on the field for 70% of the defensive snaps, so they need another one. And Michigan's Will Johnson most likely will be the best one available when the 49ers are on the clock. That's why Pro Football Network projects the 49ers to take him. Membo would have been a great addition to the San Francisco 49ers, but with multiple gaping holes appearing in free agency, the team doesn't need to trade up for a specific need, writes Pro Football Network analyst Cameron Sheath. Will Johnson's physical tools are obvious, but his playmaking mentality and route recognition make him a seriously valuable prospect. He gets the most out of his tools because of his aggression in coverage. That can come back to bite him sometimes. But more often than not, it helps him make plays other cornerbacks simply can't. Johnson is considered by many to be on par with Hunter in the cornerback class. While he wouldn't be running routes for Brock Purdy, he'd give the 49ers a big presence in the secondary. Johnson is a good fit for a team that wants to run a lot of zone coverage, a team like the 49ers. He doesn't have the speed to cover the best wide receivers man-to-man, but neither did Richard Sherman. He still was a great player. The 49ers might see Johnson as a young Sherman. 49ers 2025 NFL mock draft folks around the NFL are debating the wisdom of the San Francisco 49ers trading either Brandon Ayuk or dealing quarterback Brock Purdy. That could weigh heavily on what they do in the draft. And here is the San Francisco 49ers 2025 NFL mock draft. Slotted at number 11 in the first round, the 49ers have options for their first pick. They can stand pat at get help at one of their positions of need on the offensive line, guard tackle, or go defense at tackle or cornerback. Or the 49ers could decide to trade up and take a home run swing at a higher value player. The 49ers have 11 picks in the draft, giving them room to maneuver. In this format, the ESPN Mock Draft Simulator carries the water for 31 teams, while we sit in the 49ers general manager chair. Off we go. Round 1. W.R. Tataroa McMillan, Arizona. The 49ers read the tea leaves and jumped up 4 spots to grab the talented wideout. Cost a few spots in the 3rd round, but their extra picks made it palatable. Now the 49ers have the option of trading Brandon Ayuk to solidify weaknesses on defense created by free agency losses. McMillan brings a big body and a lot of promise to the team. He's 6'4" and 213 pounds with elite traits, according to nytimes.com. Showing off his volleyball and basketball background, McMillan shines at the catch point and uses his Gumby-like body adjustment skills to frame the football with his hands regardless of the placement or action required, Danny Brugler wrote. With heavy helpings of slants, hitches, and go routes on tape, he is at his best when he can stretch out his stride. He has the feet of a smaller athlete but will need time to expand his route tree and pacing to avoid giving away subtle hints that savvy NFL corners will notice. Overall, McMillan is only average in the speed and separation categories, but he is a long and limber athlete with exceptional tracking and ball-winning instincts. He fits the T. Higgins mold as a unique playmaker because of his size and catch-point skills. McMillan may be better than he advertised in 2024, according to an AFC scouting director via NFL.com. He got hurt in the spring, and I don't know that he ever made it back to 100%, the director said. The 2023 tape gives you a better idea of who he is. Round 2, TJ Sanders, South Carolina. The 49ers upgraded their offense in round 1, and now they fill a key need on defense with the 6'4", 297-pound beast, who is rated as an eventual plus starter, according to NFL.com. Sanders is a powerful roadblock with heavy hands and a strong core, Lance Zierlein wrote. He rarely touches the ground. Despite a lack of knee bend, he usually gives better than he gets, and blockers have a hard time keeping him sealed. He punches and locks out quickly with a twitchy shed to tackle a gap over. His rush features average first-step quickness but sudden hand swipes and play-through power in his lower half-open pathways to the pocket. Sanders' blend of power and pressure should put him on the board for both odd and even front defenses as a potential 3-down solution. This is a great fit for what the 49ers need on defense. Round 3, Ty Robinson, Nebraska doubling down. At a position of need, the 49ers grabbed a potential sleeper. Robinson has been described as player who will force opponents to match his physical play, or he will beat them. His stout 6'5", 288-pound frame is built for the trenches. Round 4, CB Upton Stout, W Kentucky, 113, and RB Cam Scatabo, 114, and C Seth McLaughlin, 138. Going with pure need here, the 49ers pass up some interesting running backs. This pick is based on Stout's willingness to get things done in the slot. He can fit the 49ers' needs, according to NFL.com. Stout has the twitch and athleticism to project inside, Zierlein wrote. What he lacks in length, he makes up for with his competitiveness. Stout's physical profile, 5'8", 181, could hurt his draft standing, but the determination and athleticism will be hard to ignore. With their second pick, the 49ers added a change of pace to Christian McCaffrey. At this point in the draft, it's hard to pass on Scatabo, who projects as the most physical runner in the 2025 class. The 49ers needed to address their interior offensive line, and McLaughlin gives them a depth piece if not more. He's highly intelligent and adds grittiness. A lack of length and range are the issues that pushed him this far into the draft. Round 5, Carson Vinson, Alabama A&M, 147, and CB Dorian Strong, Virginia Tech, 132. Vinson has great size at 6'7" and 314 pounds. He's more of a project and will need time to make that frame become more of an asset in the league. He's not NFL ready, but could be a bonus within a couple of years. The 49ers had to make a move for Vinson with tackles coming off the board. Fortunately, Strong remained in play, and they snapped him up. Strong could be the best sleeper in this draft for the 49ers, and may start down the road, according to an NFC scouting director via NFL.com. I thought the 2023 tape was a lot better, or at least a lot more consistent, the director said. But he's a quality player, a future starter. Round 7, C. Jonah Monheim, USC, 227, LB Cody Lindenberg, Minnesota, 249, and DTJ Toya, UCLA. The 49ers rounded out their draft with a trio of reach picks that all NFL teams make at this point. None of these players figures to be in the mix for the 2025 campaign. Niners superstar. Rival reveals. Head-turning. Brock Purdy. Opinion. Puka Nacua of the Los Angeles Rams said this week the San Francisco 49ers are going about signing quarterback Brock Purdy the wrong way if they expect to win a championship afterwards. Nacua's comments come after 49ers owner Jed York said Purdy is a top 10 quarterback and that the owner understands the team is going to have to pay him like one. The Rams receiver thinks, though, that will be a mistake because of the amount of cap space a contract that large would eat up. Nacua was on Julian Edelman's Games with Names podcast and let his feelings be known. "I don't think so," Nacua said about Purdy being worthy of a $50 million plus contract. "I think mid-$40 million range. I think so. He seems like a smart guy. They have a chance to still be in their window. And I think if he goes for $50 million plus, then the window closes." Players generally don't talk about other players' money, especially players from other teams. Even if Nacua's point is valid, the quarterback market is what it is. And to many, Purdy has earned a top-of-market deal as his resume comes. With a 23-13 regular season record, a 4-2 postseason record, 9,818 passing yards and 64 touchdowns, while playing for peanuts as Mr. Irrelevant, it can be argued that Nacua might have something to his logic. The 49ers did lose a lot of talent this offseason to make some additional room for Purdy. The question remains how much money will be left to sign other players to put around Purdy and see if the 49ers can put enough together to win a title. If you're a real Niners fan like me, you know locking down the secondary could be the game changer. Let me know what you'd do at 11. Drop a comment, and hey, like the video if you're ready for a big season.